And welcome back. This is Don Rush, and in the studio with us for our membership drive is Don Elkins. He's, of course, probably best known, at least around here, for being a WBOC, both face and voice, as it were. You know, we were talking a little earlier about the importance of trying to figure out what's going on in the world, particularly here and on Delmarva as well as around the world, and how. I mean, one of the things I think is extremely attractive about NPR and about public radio in general is the fact you get to really explore that, get to give some sense about what's going on in the world, as opposed to just sort of a fast, 30-second clip and you're out and you're gone.
You get some depth, and it's funny. You and I were just talking about that, and right now is a perfect example. Obviously you're driving along, you're doing whatever. There's a camera aimed at us. Now, I'm a TV guy, so I see that immediately, and I'm playing toward it. But I believe it's going to be online, and we were just talking about the impermanence, how rapidly things go by in terms of information on websites and out there, and how you just made the point there about the fact that we're going to get some depth, and we do get some depth and some understanding, and the fantastic people that are guests on NPR shows, All Things Considered Morning Edition. I personally am a fan of the Political Junkie. I can't get by without him, but it's good to have that there, and it needs support. I mean, if you listen to it and it's educating you and making your world a better world, step up.
And you can do that by picking up the phone and dialing 410-543-6895. You can pledge $100 and put it on a credit card. That way you get to pay it off as you want. The money comes to us right away. And the most important thing is that you, the listener, then hear that programming. Now's the time to pick up the phone, make that commitment, and make that pledge at 410-543-6895. I mean, I think that's one of the things that really
have you smiled and waved yet?
Have I not smiled out yet? That's really one of the things I think that's really important about because the world is so complicated, and there's so many issues, and the issues that are halfway around the world affect us. I mean, the most obvious are things like Iraq and Afghanistan, which are really complicated. We're trying to understand them. But I think all the stuff that's coming out of Washington, D.C. with bank reform, what does that mean, particularly for us here on the peninsula, as well as a lot of the local issues. It really is a complicated world.
Which is it's fantastic to have you, again, as a resource. I'm being shamelessly complimentary, and I really, it's you don't often get to go sit down and talk with somebody I'm a consumer of what you produce. I'm a fan of your programming. I'm a fan of your news. You do sometimes when you sit down face to face with somebody whose work you appreciate. Okay, so I'm a little complimentary, but it's nice to hear you clear up stuff, especially both national and local. And you're right; it's very complicated. Like today, the Wall Street reform, the president giving his address. I don't even think he's done it yet, but it's scheduled today on Wall Street. All the things that are going on behind the scenes there with Goldman Sachs. The entire political situation with financial reform in D.C. right now, with the agreement or disagreement with both parties. I know, Senator Lincoln from Arkansas yesterday, got that derivatives bill out of her committee with Chuck Grassley signing on, which is, are we going to have some bipartisan support? But I'm going to hear about that through you. You're going to be my voice that a lot of times, first thing in the morning, is going to tell me what's happening with this. And I thank you.
We appreciate that. And if you appreciate it, now's the time to pick up the phone and make that commitment, make that pledge at 410-543-6895. That is the number to call. I mean, because I think it's...
How do you do it? I mean, it's not like you have a huge staff either.
Well, that's true. With a lot of long hours. That's probably one of the keys.
Have you been out of here this week? Or,
no, actually, I've been mostly in... I've been in this week, and it's... I don't see a lot of sunshine. I mean, that's part of the problem, but I'll get a little color.
Does he drink all the coffee?
Yes,
he does drink all the coffee? Okay.
But in addition, and one of the great things, particularly over the last semester, has been that we've had a number of students, about 3 or 4 of them are practical students, who have also been able to get out there and do reporting. And matter of fact, we had a guy who did, I think it was like late last year, did a 3-part series on heroin addiction. Heroin is a rising problem here on Delmarva. And he went out and he talked to a couple of ex-addicts. He talked to the wife of one of the ex-addicts. And one of the most dramatic moments in the piece was the wife came in. He was laying on the couch. He looked as if he was sleeping, and he had a needle stuck in his arm.
Oh,
and this image that you carry away. This is a terrible, terrible thing. That's the kind of reporting that a lot of these kids are doing, and it's really great. We want to mention again, you need to pick up the phone, dial that number at 410-543-6895. That is the number to call. You know, you can say pledge $100 or maybe go $200 and do a challenge. That would be great. You want to put it on your credit card, that's great. Or challenge other people to donate money, because after all, we know that you listen to this radio station, and particularly to Diane Rehm, which is this particular hour. If you appreciate Diane Rehm and what she does, and the kind of conversation that she has, and this is the kind of conversation that she has that we've been talking about. Now is the time to pick up the phone at 410-543-6895.